Hi, good morning. Charlotte here. How is everyone? Hope you are all okay. So I wanted to talk today about being angry with infertility, being angry at your life, being angry that so many people seem to just be able to get pregnant like that and by accident and without meaning to, and we didn't want another one yet, and all of the things that people say to you that make you angry. So all of that, when it's meant to be, it'll be, and why don't you just adopt, or maybe the timing's just not right yet. So being angry at people, being angry at the situation, being angry at the environment, being angry at the cost of all of the treatment, of being angry month after month after month that you're not getting the result that you want and that you need. Being angry, I remember one of the things that I was really angry at was, I just thought we were a happy young married couple who have got everything to give a baby. We both had good jobs, we were healthy, we were happy, we were in a good relationship, we'd been together a long time. We'd got great family, great people around us, we had a nice home. We could give a baby everything, so why wasn't it happening? Why was this not happening for us? The most natural thing in the world, and it felt like anything but natural. It felt like the hardest, most draining experience of my life. And then, as I always say, if you follow me, the worry and that just transfer over. So you go from being angry and not getting pregnant and fertility not working, your fertility treatment not working, or having miscarriages or whatever else, to, okay, I finally got pregnant, and then the anger can just move forward. Because I remember being really angry, like I didn't dare complain very often, because as I make a point of always saying, people were always like, yeah, but you wanted this, you've got what you wanted, or you should be grateful. Well, I am grateful, and trust me when I say to you, there is nobody more grateful than that mum who's waited all those years, all those months to get that positive pregnancy test, however they've got round to it. So first of all, you don't need to tell anyone to be grateful. They are, trust me. But then it's the thing of, I know with me, I used to say to people, the people would be like, oh God, I bet you're over the moon, aren't you? Oh God, I bet you feel so much more relaxed now. No, I don't feel more relaxed now. My worry's gone from here to like skyrocket, because I wanted something, but now I've got something and I've got to keep it there. I've got to keep it safe. That's my number one job now for the rest of my life. And I used to say to people, I'll be happy when I've just got the baby there and I'm holding the baby and everything's okay. And people will be like, oh, don't think like that. Well, you can't tell me how to think, because you haven't been there for the last 5 or 6 years. You haven't been there every month, every night when I've gone to sleep crying, or I've spent 5 hours a night researching something, crying to my husband when our IVF failed, trying to save all the money to go through the next time, trying to ask our parents for help, because we needed it, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally. It's not nice when you're a grown adult and you're having to go to people to ask for help, and that's what we had to do. So you haven't been there, so please don't think that someone has the right to tell you how to feel. So I remember being angry that, I'd said the one day I suffered really badly with sickness when I was pregnant with Remy, and it had just beat me this one weekend. Just all weekend, I couldn't eat anything, nothing, not even water would stay down. And I'd said that I felt bad, and all I got was, oh, it'll be worth it. And I get that a lot of the time. One of the things I came to learn and accept, and I speak to people often about, is that people don't know what to say. And generally, I'm not going to say all the time, but generally most things come from a good place. It's just that people don't know how to say it. But you feel that you can't be that newly pregnant mum who's constantly drained or exhausted because you can't stop being sick. You feel that even when you go on and have your baby, you can't be that mum at the nursery or at the school who's saying that you're tired because your child's poorly or they're teething, or because it's like, well, you asked for this. And you don't say that to anyone else who's planned on getting pregnant or not planned on getting pregnant. So, sorry, I thought my lipstick had smudged and I was going to be doing a joker. So the anger can just go forward with you. And what can happen, and certainly what happened to me, is you have your baby, and it was very dramatic in my case, so I was really angry about that. And I remember being really angry and thinking, for God's sake, you couldn't even just let me get pregnant naturally. Now you stopped me being able to give birth naturally. So all this natural shit, it's not right. It wasn't natural for me. Nothing about the whole process was natural. Couldn't even give birth naturally. And I was so angry that someone had taken that away, and it had affected me and my marriage and my relationship and friendships and work, and it just felt like it's affected your whole life. Because whether it's a bad period, when you start trying to conceive, getting pregnant, giving birth, you can come out of it with your new baby and everyone thinks you should be over the moon, like jumping around for joy, and you are most of the time. But if you haven't dealt with that anger, that hurt, that upset, that emotion, that disappointment, that feeling of you haven't got that self-love, self-worth, self-respect, you end up with this beautiful baby, which should be the happiest time of your life, and you've got all this going around in your head. And that's where I was. And I did not know how to cope with it. I didn't know how to deal with it. And I didn't dare say to anybody that I didn't feel right, because I just thought, oh, they're going to come and take my baby away from me. And that's the most petrifying thing for any mother. So, and any parent. So, especially when you've waited all these years, you think, well, I can't moan about it now. I better just get on with it. And it just ends up going along and along and along. So, the anger, don't ever let anyone tell you that you're not entitled to that, because it's hard. It's a hard journey. And the longer it goes on, the harder it gets. The more downtrodden we get, the more beat up we feel. And the one piece of advice that I can give you, and if you work with me on my coaching programs, you'll know that I always say to people, right, let it out. And I mean let it out. Whether you want to do it to me on one of my calls, whether you want to go into the middle of nowhere, whether you want to just stand in your house, in your garden, drive somewhere, stand there, I mean let it out. And physically say what you need to say. A lot of people will say write it down, and it helps, but I don't think it helps with this. We've got to really let it out. Whether it be that we cry, shout, scream, I don't know, whatever you want to do, let the anger out, because you've got to keep letting it out. You've got to keep releasing it, because you're going to end up further along the line with all of this anger, plus all the hurt, disappointment, hope, all of that. So get it out. That's my first piece of advice about anger. And the second piece of advice is try and turn that anger into another emotion. Now, I'm not saying that like you're just going to do it like that, because, you know, we're human. We ain't just going to switch that and it's going to go. But what I will always say is try and turn that anger into determination, or the anger into, if you follow me, you'll know that I talk a lot about knowledge about you, not just in general, talking about yourself, building your own book, your own chapters, your own wealth of information about yourself. So try and turn that anger into that about you. So try and put that passion into something else. And it's not going to happen overnight. You're still going to feel angry, and it might not all go away, but it's getting things to a manageable level. And it's one of my biggest things that I will always say to people when they start my program is, I can't just wave a magic wand and make you feel okay, but what I can do is teach you how to deal with things as and when they come up. And that's not just in the 8 or 12 week program that we do. That's for the rest of your life. It's giving you those skills to be able to analyse, break it down, deal with things, see what we can control, what we can't. And that's one of the things I really struggled with. And that doesn't just go away. Like, I still have things in my life now that I think, oh, you know, I don't really like how that is, or what's happened there, or whatever else. But it's really starting to break it down and be quite rational with it. Is there something I can change there? Yes or no? And how you deal with that then going forward. So by all means be angry. Try and let it out as much as you can. Don't hurt anyone. Don't take it out on anyone else. But whether that be that you cry, scream, I don't know, go and take up a boxing class, go into the middle of the woods and whatever you need to do, scream, let it out, write it down on a piece of paper, rip the paper up, set fire to it. Whatever you need to do, let as much of it out as you can. It's not all going to go. And then start to try and put that into different things. So have your rant, and always feel free to have your rant, have your say, have your cry, your moan, your explosion, whatever it needs to be. Just feel free to have that. You are entitled to that. No one expects you to just be this overwhelming joy of infertility, just walking around in head in the clouds like nothing's ever happened. Because if it was that easy, we wouldn't need people like myself, fertility massage, hypnotherapist, counsellors, specialists, all of that. It's a hard thing to take part of, and you know, I'll put a thing on the other day, it's part of being club that you never really want to be a part of. So don't let anybody do that down for you. You're entitled to how you feel. It's just learning how to control that. So if you do need any help with it, any support, please let me know. And I'm more than willing to help. If you are following me on Facebook, I'm the Fertility Coach. Instagram, I'm Fertility Coach UK, and my YouTube channel is Charlotte the Fertility Coach. Take care. Goodbye.